In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station, WLMR DB Radio.
Again, you all out there, thank you all for always staying tuned in each and every week to Speak Out Your Issues with Miss Show You Right, Nadine.
And Sabrina.
And of course, tonight we have a fantastic guest on our show, Miss Alicia Washington. And our topic is an interesting topic. This is a young lady who have been out in the community for a long time helping the community. And we really appreciate you for doing that, Ms. Washington, because without the type of help that she gives, a lot of people, would be in need. And our topic tonight is feeding the community. And if you don't mind, Ms. Washington, let our audience know a little bit about yourself and what you do. And I'll come back with some more information about what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Nadine, and thank you, Sabrina, for having me on. My name is Alicia Washington, and I am the founder and the director of the City of Hope Safe Haven. We are a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to be able to cater to transitional and homelessness. That's our main area of expertise. We also want to directly impact the issues that would affect the homeless here in Atlanta and the surrounding areas. We want to also be able to go and take a person, sit them down, be able to meet their needs, and bring them from being dependent to being independent. A lot of the people that are in the area, they're isolated and they feel that they have no hope. And that's what we are. That's what we bring. We try to bring hope to the hopeless. And in that, we do linkages, we do resources, and like what she was talking about, feeding the neighborhood, we also do food. We give out food and housing. So we do a multiple amount of things to help reach people who are in need. We also reach out to the low and the middle class people too, because especially during this COVID time, they are very much in need also. So we've been around for about 15 years faithfully, and we do outreaches all through the year. We start with like the Adopt a Road. And with the Adopt a Road, we cater to West Farrington. That's our Adopt a Road. And every quarter, we go and we clean the road and make sure it's a part of the beautification program that they have. Then we have what we call an Adopt a Block. We do Adopt a Block where we go into these apartment communities, we meet with the management, and we bring different resources and different type of activities to the apartment communities where the kids are able to have game team night. The kids will have a Bible study. We do senior night for games and card playing and different things like that. We offer the people in the apartment community so that they'll have something to do and they won't be enticed by the gang activities and things that will keep them and put them in trouble. So also through the summer, we do the summer lunch program because during the summer, we know a lot of the kids depend on the school lunch. And once they're out of school, they're not able to eat as often as they did while they were in school. So we've also catered to the children and given them summer school lunches. And surprisingly, when we would be giving out summer school lunches, we end up finding adults will pull up on their way to work or coming home from work, and they take advantage of that also. So everybody has a need, and we try to meet that. We do the back to school every year. We do backpacks. Every year we give out backpacks, and the extra ones that we have, we always donate them to the surrounding school areas. We do trunk or treat, which we come and we know the kids. Well, back in the day, you used to be able to go door to door, but because of how things are going in this time, you're not able to go door to door like you used to, and especially safety. And we'll be looking for safety for our children.
Right.
So we set up shop, make bags of candy, and make sure they get plenty candy where they don't have to go too many places to make sure they can take that candy home. We do Thanksgiving baskets and gift cards. We do bike and toy giveaway during Christmas time also. So we do a lot of things, and as far as whatever we have to do as outreaches or initiatives. We also have been a part of the DeKalb Citizens Assistance Program and helping pay the rent of a lot of especially during the COVID, a lot of the people are behind on the rent through loss of their job or loss of the job through a loved one that is in their household.
Wow.
And we done the spread. We done several outreaches with spread the worth, the wealth, the warmth, as far as clothing and giving away shoes. We've also done a lot of the signing people up for voter registration, and we've done the COVID testing.
Okay. I mean, you all seems like you have a year-long impactful outreach for those that are in need in the community, and we appreciate that. I know I didn't formally meet you before we collaborated with you as far as our NAACP DeKalb branch here about a month ago, but I know one of our volunteers, Dwayne, had mentioned and introduced you to me by giving me your information a while back, but I'm glad we got a chance to get in contact. For you being on this program this evening, didn't know that your program did all of that. And again, it's a year-long, sounds like a year-long giving. And we definitely appreciate that. Ms. Sabrina, did you have anything that you'd like to add, comment, ask a question?
Yeah, so I had already, I had gone on there and website and I was looking up. And so she had answered the questions that I had about the Adopt a Block, what was the Adopt a Block program. I see they have a discipleship program and a psychological. So those two also stuck out to me. And if you don't mind, just briefly tell us about your psychological and the discipleship.
Okay, with that program that you've seen, it's one that we plan on having. So right now we just do like discipleship programs in our office. One day we're believing God that we will have a facility. And with that facility, it will be a 12-month program where with this 12-month program, we will be dealing with all of the controlling issues that people come in with, and we will reach and sit down with them and walk them through the discipleship program. We will walk them through the different things that they need, whether it's anger management, whether they need computers, resume, get their resume done. Wow. Right. And all of the things that they need, domestic violence, if they have drug or alcohol abuse, we walk them through sobriety. We have a program called Celebrity that Celebrate that will help them get through that. And then we'll do a management placement to help them. And so we also want to just deal with the different things that people have issues with in their lives, whether it be mental, spiritual, or physical. And in this facility, all of that would happen during that 12-month discipleship program where they would commit 1 year to being in this program and being able to work through their stuff.
Okay, and is this program an in-house where you stay there, or you just commit to it's like coming to class every day?
No. You stay there. You stay there. Okay. You stay there for 12 months. It's a 12-month disciple. That's why I said discipleship. We walk them through whatever they come in with. we walk them through that process of helping them to be able to come out, either free of alcohol and drugs, from domestic violence, where they have anger management control, where they won't be doing the things that they were doing before they got into that situation, human trafficking, pulling the young ladies off of the street, helping them get on their feet, whatever it is that they struggle with, rape victims, and so a lot of the issues I had experienced myself. And so God had gave me this burden because I had so many things that I went through. I'm originally from Chicago, so it was a lot of things that I went through during my youth. And from that to my kids, being a single mother of 5 children and raising them by myself, that a lot of these situations fall up under what I've experienced.
Listen at
so
that.
My experiences is my testimony to be able to help other people with theirs.
Well, you know what, Sabrina? When she met me, she was like, "We're going to, I'm not going to let you forget. We're going to be working together." I said, "Of course." And again, she's putting out information that's what we do, Alicia, and you can always tell a good fit when people meet. And hey, Alicia can tell you, I've been keeping her connected. I will call her. I have her on our email list with the political action. And we really appreciate you sharing what you've shared. And I know Miss Sabrina is going to jump right in because you're right on her side of the street as well.
Oh, you know it. She walked up to my door and rang the doorbell. Okay.
Yeah.
What hit me was, like I said, with the psychological, because our organization is an advocacy organization. We're about children's safety, but we advocate against human trafficking, teen domestic violence, child abuse, and bullying. So I've been working with victims of human trafficking since 2005. And once I moved up here in Atlanta in 2012, I started working more on the advocacy side and legislative side, also the training. So we train, educate, and advocate. We also have Miss Ali, because once the victims are rescued, they're in need of psychological H-E-L-P. So that's what her organization does, which is she refers them to psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors, or whatever they need for mental health. Miss Ali's organization, South Candler Neighborhood Advocate, offers. For hers is a healthy mind, body, and spirit. But our organization, it's mostly with ours. I would say our organization is for children. So we have a youth ambassador program that we're getting ready to kick off, which will be going after the schools, talking to them, have youth, teaching other youth and talking to other youth about human trafficking, bullying, and teen domestic violence. So we're training these teens to be able to not only educate, but also spot. So they'll be able to help other children not become victims. We also have a children's book that we're coming out with. Actually, it's almost ready for release with the publisher, that is about our young boys who are being sexually abused, giving them a voice to say, not to keep it a secret, but we want to encourage them to talk about it and tell. Yeah. So while I was on your website, I was like, man, they're all up in our neighborhood. So when you started talking and telling what you were doing, I was like, I just burst out laughing, because I am also that testimony that have been abused, and y'all used me. The promise I made was, Father, if you get me out of this, I will be that voice. And he has held me to that promise, and he has equipped me with what I needed, which is a big mouth, to be the voice for those that, we say are voiceless, but it's nothing worse than having a voice that makes a sound, but you're not being heard.
Right.
So we create that avenue where not only when you open your mouth to speak, you're heard. People listen. So that's what we want to encourage our youth to do, and help in empowering them. So our goal is to eradicate human trafficking globally, and we do that by one child at a time.
And
so thank you for what you do.
Yes,
thank you for what you do. I haven't been able to take like what you saw on my website to that degree with the psychology, the mental state, and be able to do the advocacy like you have been doing. I need to get with you with that because we haven't got a facility and I haven't had anyone to partner or to network with that when I come across these people that I can refer them to them.
Right.
So I would love to partner and network with you with your advocacy and for whoever it is that do work with you with these.
Oh, absolutely. We also train. We train out. We do webinars. We do the webinar. Of course, we want to be safe, but before pre-COVID, we would go to the actual locations and do the trainings. But now we're doing them via Zoom, which is as effective because you get to, you can ask your questions, but we still get to have that sort of one-on-one. You're just not in person. And if you can't make it, you won't miss it, right? So you still have the opportunity to get the information. And that's what we're about, spreading information to those that need it and trying to help. And you're doing what what Miss Ali and I are all about, and that is empowering our neighborhoods.
Right.
Because it first starts, when children are being preyed upon, the predator comes to their neighborhood. They come to their schools. They come to the playgrounds where children are. So if we can go in and educate our neighborhoods and empower our neighborhoods and talk to our families, hey, those generational curses, and we know what they are, of abuse, helping them, you starting with your program, helping them overcome and break those generational curses. But we also need to educate them on what that pattern looks like, because it is a pattern. So when you break those curses, the only way you can break the curse, you have to recognize the pattern, so you won't walk into that pattern. So kudos to your program. I pray that the Father give you everything that you need, because He doesn't give you anything without having it set up for you.
Right.
That you will be able to walk in that door and to do what you're doing. So kudos to you, and prayers go to you as well for what you're doing. I really appreciate you. I really do.
And same to you. Same to you. Kudos to you to what you're doing. Very effective work that you're doing.
And Sabrina, I know you mentioned all of what you do. I don't remember hearing the name of your organization.
Oh, I'm so here's the funny part, because I always mention her organization and forget to mention shows you what my priorities are. The name of my organization is My Name Is Me.
My Name Is Me.
My Name Is Me. Right. My name is M.E. And My Name Is Me came about when I wrote the first book called My Private Space, and it was my story of my abuse and how I wanted my story to end. My abuse lasted for 8 years, but I wanted it to be that when I told my mother what happened, she believed me and got me out of that situation. But unfortunately, it didn't happen for me, just like it doesn't happen for a lot of our children, right? And the title came from the young ladies. The child's name in the book is Mary Elizabeth. And so Mary, we know, is the mother of Yeshua, our Savior. And Elizabeth is the mother of John the Baptist, the heralder, the one that let everyone know that the Savior was coming. So that's where Mary Elizabeth came from. So our books are set, and everything that we do, My Name is Me organization, is set about setting the captives free, but telling them and doing it in the love that Yeshua gave to us. So we are the heralders. We are the ones that are letting them know that Yeshua saves, that he is here, that it doesn't matter where you've been in your life or what you've done in your life, redemption is nigh, and he will save. So that's what My Name is Me is all about. The name.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, indeed. And actually, hey, getting to know what we all do. Listeners, I know and hope that you are taking notes, because we do look for volunteers and they are vetted as well. But this is a powerhouse this evening. We haven't really gotten into the niche of the questions. Of course, Alicia, mentioned all the things that her organization does. And like I mentioned, a year long of any kind of help that any individual or family needs. And she has her long range goals out there as well. So I hope that you're enjoying our Speak Out Your Issues this evening. Just want to quickly remind you that's where you are. Speak out your issues. And we always bring a lot of positive topics to our listeners. We're going to get back into the program and go ahead and ask Miss Alicia a question. And I know you told us all about your organization, but I'd like to know, and for our listeners, what brought you to want to do to feed your neighborhood? And I know you did slightly mention a lot of what you've gone through yourself, but it has to be that energy within one to want to do and see the vision. I know you did mention about, God, hey, giving you the inspiration and the knowledge to do what you're doing. But I just, even to go a little deeper than what you mentioned, what brought you to want to feed your neighborhood?
Well, like I was saying, Nadine, thank you for asking that question. I came up with the title of Feed Your Neighborhood because I was born in Chicago. And back in the day, and I might be telling my age, but back in the day, we looked out for each other. Whatever the need was, you can always go next door, and something as simple as bring a cup of sugar. Can I borrow some sugar? And people didn't get offended by that. They gave you the sugar. Oh, can I get some salt, girl? I need an egg. I done started this whole thing over here, and I got to finish making this cake or this bread.
Right.
People didn't mind you knocking on their door and asking, help and giving and stuff. And that concept pretty much came into my mind of what I was used to. I didn't like the neighbors because they told on us, I'm gonna tell your mama on you, and they whooped you and all of that. But we were a community. Right. We were a neighborhood. We knew everybody on the block. Right. Everybody knew everybody's kids. Everybody knew everybody's mama, their daddy, and so that concept, when I think about it now, I be like, we need to get back to the basic of neighborhood, looking out for each other. Right. And what really kicked in for me doing that outreach was COVID. COVID kicked in really, 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 really made you pay attention to what was going on, not only with your next door neighbors, but your family, the people down the street. You drive down the street in the car, you see so many people homeless, you see people's furniture out. COVID did a lot to a lot of people, especially if you were already in a devastating state already, and then COVID hit, and that really put you in a place where you didn't know where you want to live, what you were going to eat. And so that pretty much is how I began to put together this outreach that we did, Feed Your Neighborhood, which trickled over to me doing it 2 to 3 times a week. I partnered with different churches and different people who had the food bank and got that going, called them up, let them know that I wanted to be able to pick up their excess food because I wasn't able to partner with the Atlanta Food Bank.
Right.
And at that time, they were moving from where they were at to a new location. So they weren't even taking applications. But the need for feeding people was out there because of COVID, right? And so I had got this idea that I would just call all of these. So they gave me a list of the people who had the food banks. And I began to call these people and ask them, can I partner with you? I just want to get some food so I can start giving it away, da-da-da.
Right.
And my list trickled down till people just was not giving me the information, and they let me know that they couldn't give me the food and they were accountable. So then the Lord blessed. I ran into somebody that told me about a partner that I can, it's an organization, it's not a church, organization I can partner with. Then about a church that of a person that I could partner with. And it became regular that I began to help the churches like New Life. The Dream Center.
Right.
New Birth. I began to partner with them. They would give me boxes and I would put them in my truck and just go out there. I would go and get the extra after, they get their food from Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and they might not give away all of it, but they don't want to throw it away. They give it to me. So when they give it to me, I take it to my neighborhood, and I take it to the Canada Road over here by the hotel, which is filled with transitional and homeless people. I take it over there, give it away over there. Then I leave there and head over to West Farrington and give away over there on the park of West Farrington, and just be able to, I was doing this 2 to 3 times a week. They'd give me a call, come pick up, and I was giving out food 2 to 3 times a week for a whole year and a half every week.
See?
Every week.
Yes, ma'am, and that's where I met you. And, a lot of people, be saying, hey, they don't want, I said, look, people are people, and God put it on you to do, like they say, roll with it. You can't not deny what God, asks you to do, because he's giving you the strength through every step of the way with all of that. And I appreciate you sharing that. Is there anything you'd like to ask her?
And just to piggyback off of that, Nadine,
sure.
Like people were, I should say, some folks was letting me know that I couldn't do it because it was going to be an expense, right?
Right.
But God gave me favor,
right,
with these churches, with these organizations, and they're giving me food all the way up to today. I still give away food up to almost 2 years, from March of the COVID, when COVID started in March, all the way up to today. I am still giving out food every week to people, and I have not got to pay now 1 penny. So it's nothing impossible with God. When God puts something on your heart to do something, all you have to do is believe that he's not going to give you something that he's not going to make provision for you to have it.
That's right.
And I just ran with that. I understood that this costs and that costs, but you know what? My faith is that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And that's what I walk out. I walk my faith with this organization and everything that God puts on my heart to do.
And it shows. It really does, even through your speaking. Definitely would again appreciate you just coming on our show, laying your heart out, letting people know what you do and the goodness that is all around. Of course, it is out of DeKalb County. What we're going to do right now is take a station break and be right back. And remember, you are tuned in with Speak Out Your Issues with Miss Shirley Wright, Nadine, and Sabrina on WLMR DB Radio. We'll be right back. Again, you all, thank you for staying tuned each and every week to Speak Out Your Issues with Miss Show You Right, Nadine and Sabrina. It was a powerful time before our break. It's going to be more powerful this time after the break. Our guest tonight is Alicia Washington. I'm getting ready to change your name, Alicia. And she let us know all the good things that she's doing, in the neighborhood out of DeKalb County. And of course, before she leave the show, she can leave her information. Definitely, if need any volunteers, of course, she can let you know all of that good stuff. But we'll get back into our definitely topic, which is Feed Your Neighborhood. She told us all about what got her started. And Miss Alicia, I'd just like to ask you the next question. Of course, the question is, how is it looking with people needing help since COVID? And we all know it's massive. And from last year up until now, how, has it gotten worse with what you do?
Well, what I do, we have like 4 pallets that we give away of food, and it all be gone except maybe the bread might still be there, but pretty much most of the food is gone. 4 pallets. So that in itself, I went from a van truck to a truck. And that in itself says,
wow. Right, the need is out there.
Food, the need.
Right.
How much is given away, and so, and in 2 different, these are just 2 separate, places, just 2 separate. Can you imagine going to other places and positioning yourself and having that food there and people knowing that food is there, so I think it hasn't gotten that much better, especially with the Delta strand coming through next,
right.
So I think that we still have a ways to go as far as helping people. And I know some of the people, when we were doing the Citizens Assistance Program, people were already 3 and 4 months and 5 months behind.
True.
Before you even became a part of the Citizens Program, and so to say that they out of the hole now, I don't think so, and so landlords are suffering, tenants are suffering, kids are suffering, parents are suffering, everybody is suffering, so I don't think it's gotten much better. I think it's gotten a little better, but not as much as it needs to be.
Right. Those are my thoughts too, because of course, with stopping, putting people out on the street, thanks to DeKalb County, judge who
Jackson,
Usher Jackson,
put another moratorium out. Thank God for her doing that.
Is that now through October 1st that they can't get sit out? Because if that's the case, can you imagine how we're trying to get the children situated with school, and then you're out,
school.
don't even have an address for them, right? See, that's the other thing. When people are getting set out, they don't have an address to even use, and they're still up in the air about whether the children should be in school or not. No, that's another whole subject. But I appreciate your feedback on that, and that's my thoughts too. We haven't even seen the worst, and it's getting ready to get in the fall time of the year. You have any feedback or any comments, Ms. Sabrina?
No, I agree with you, because that was my prayer when, Congress went out on their break. They never made the decision of the extension and what that would look like. And I just thought that was just a coward's way out. That's Sabrina. I'm going to leave it at that. Mm-hmm. But, for the counties themselves, to step up, in the cities themselves to step up and say, well, no, that's not what we're going to do. And in them doing that, the administration said, okay, we're going to extend it until, I think, the end of September, which then everyone should be back. And they of and how and what's that going to look like. But, you know, my thought was, here it is, and it's like you said, Ms. Nadine, you won't be able to find them. You know, the children going to school, districting issues, the nightmare that would cause.
Right.
In your transient state. And even if in temporary housing, if you're living in extended stay. And the part that really just frustrated me was extended stay moved, the prices went from, I think it was like $59 to $69 a night up to $99, even $199, I think. It used to be, some of them were like $150 for a week. It's now $300-400 to stay there for a week. They literally, yes, they hike their prices up. And you have families with 4 and 5 children that are living there, just trying to keep on, you know, their head above water.
Right.
And like you said, a roof over their head, but just trying to survive. But if you look at it, even that is in itself the worst, because if you multiply $300 a week times 4, that's $1,200.
Right.
And you were living in an apartment and you were paying $900 a month. Right? So you're still trying to figure out the value in that. But at the same time, you know, because of your credit issues, now you don't have a job, and by you not having a job, they don't know how you're going to pay your rent, so they don't want to rent to you. So, like you said, it's just a cycle, and everybody is hurting. And we all know, as Miss Ali and I, we always talk about hurt people. A lot of times people are out there now, they are just trying to feed their families. It's not even about, you know, robbing for the sake of robbing. They're robbing because they're hungry.
It's survival.
Right.
And they're trying to find, they don't care that it is, you know, detrimental to them. They just want to find a way to feed their family or feed the hunger. Because, you know, now you have children that are breaking in and vandalizing and robbing because they're hungry. So, you know, to be able to feed that need, and what your organization is doing through the church, if we had it where, you know, multiple churches in a neighborhood, in any given neighborhood, you probably have about 6 to 10 churches. I'm just
oh, yes. And all of them got closed down.
If the block churches just got together, you know, and then adopted a block, I'm just going to be real. If the block churches got together and pooled their resources and helping that community, what a great save. What a great way we'll be able to help those that are in need.
Right.
And the immediate need with a lot of people is food. If you cover the immediate need of feeding them, then you can bring them in to educate them, to clothe them, and try to help with the other stuff that they have. But if you have a screaming baby, you're trying to find something for that child to eat. Yeah. So.
And what were you about to say, Alicia?
Oh, I have to agree with you. I always thought that, you know, they always say the power of one. And I say if everyone would just take up one person and meet that one person's need, the Bible says that the poor will always be among us. Okay, so we always know that there'll always be someone poor. But the amount of poor doesn't have to be among us like it is now. And so if everybody just had that mentality to help one person, we wouldn't have to be going through all of this, doing all of this. And the increasing of poverty would not be as high as it is. But we are so much into ourselves and what we want and putting our head down, acting like we don't see people, you know, and we don't see their needs and this, that, and the other, that it's just terrible. It's just really, really terrible. And I agree with you with rent, the way that they are. And I believe the only reason they're raising the rent, the rooms up like that is because they know a lot of those people are getting help.
Right.
So they're getting help with their rent. So they're doing that purposely so that they can get more money, because it's ridiculous that you would have nothing in the room and it's terrible, and you want to charge almost $100 a night for someone to stay in that room, and that's terrible. But that's what they do, And so, like you said, we know that they can't leave there because they left the place that put them out. So their credit is messed up. So they know they can't go to a decent place. Right. And wherever they go, that person gonna take them there. They're gonna be a slum landlord because they don't care. They just want some money. They don't give a care what you give them because they're not gonna do nothing to the place. So don't nobody want to live like that. They want to live in a decent place, but they can't because their credit is messed up. Right. And these apartments will not take you if you owe somebody else. They will not let you come into their apartment complex until you take care of that old bill. Right. So you got a lot of these people in the hotels like that, and they got 2 or 3 jobs. Right, trying to just in one room, trying to make ends meet. They're going to work. They're going to work. These people are not in these hotels, not going to work. They're going to work. Coming back to a one room. Right. Coming back to a one room because that's all they can do for right now. Yeah. Keep a roof over their head. And you are out there with them, and I appreciate you in seeing it, and I appreciate you definitely letting our listeners know, which they may be in a situation themselves. I know that I remember when the extended stay started and seeing families, school buses go up in there to pick up children. Now it's resorted back to persons who had jobs, like Sabrina said, due to the fact of losing their job, having to resort to living in a hotel, a whole family, still trying to work. And it's even worse than when the extended stay hotels, that was like 15, almost 20 years ago. And we didn't think that they would be like that, but it was like a transition from being in a home or apartment to extended stay. And now with, like you say, what has happened, we just pray our way through and keep working our way through and working together. Like you had mentioned earlier, your reasoning for getting out there. You've gone through stuff yourself. I know I have, Sabrina. And it's that, like they say, that will to live instead of just giving up. Definitely appreciate this conversation tonight because, like they say, it's right on point. We are all right in the middle of what we're talking about, and it is real. I would like to ask, what is your vision for continuing to help in this way and for your nonprofit? I do know that you mentioned earlier that you all have the plan to one day help persons who are going through a lot of things. That's definitely one of your visions. But what do you foresee right now in continuing to help this way? Well, just like you were saying, Nadine, my vision, and I believe that one day we will have a facility where we'll be able to do the recovery program for the men and the women, and we'll be able to deal with different things like depression and homelessness and different issues that keeps an individual from moving forward in their life. And all we want to do is just really help them to realize their potential and their dreams and give them provision, some type of provision, shelter, and training, and be able to reach our hand out to help them go from that state of dependency to being independent. So my joy of when we do have the residential building, that we can have this 12 to 24 month long discipleship program, which will be a community living program. And also it will be a faith-based ministry that will focus on teaching each disciple how to build and cultivate a distinctive relationship with God as a primary tool in need. And with that in mind, they will be able to leave the facility. Even some could stay and mentor someone else once they are set free from their own controlling issues, that they can help other people. But that's really my vision, is just to can't wait to get a facility that one day that God will bless us with a place where we can house people. And that's what I want. I've been seeing these hotels. I really just give me a hotel.
Yes.
I can turn those hotels into a facility for shelter, day shelter. We need a day shelter. Everybody got to go to Atlanta.
Right.
To go to a day shelter. Even for a shelter, you got to go to Atlanta.
I know.
So DeKalb County really, really needs to get some more shelters, because I just found out that 26% the homeless percentage in Stonecrest and Lithonia is 26%. It is actually higher than Decatur. Decatur is only 22%.
Wow.
Now, I don't see them, but they're here. They're somewhere around.
Right.
I've seen a couple of them off of the expressway or, behind in the woods, but 26%.
Yes.
So they're out there, and that's one thing about homeless people. They do find somewhere to go,
right,
and survive,
Right.
So that's really my thing. I look at these hotels going up and down the expressway. I want that hotel. Just give it to me. I want it. Can you imagine how many people we could put in there and help them? Help them get on their feet.
That's how
because they're not putting nobody's in those rooms.
See.
Nobody's in those rooms.
Right.
Serve a need, especially now.
You're right about that. When you was talking about your program, that's the same vision that, Sabrina has with My Name Is Me. And actually, not My Name Is Me, but Seed Life. I don't know if you'd like to touch on that. You all have the same vision, and hers is with the youth and young adults. Sabrina, would you like to touch on it?
Yeah, just briefly. Our goal is to build a life skills center with dorms for our homeless youth. In the city of Atlanta, as of last year before, there were over 3,300 homeless youth in the city of Atlanta. That's just the city of Atlanta, 3,300. So my plan is to build a life skills center that will teach life skills as well as help our homeless youth population in doing exactly what you said. Just having that building and providing them with, the tools that they need to help them become literally integrate them back into society, and provide them with everything they need to make them productive citizens. And Judge Crawford said it so well, taxpayer citizens. So, but to give them that independence, seeing that I accomplished something, but the foundation is Christ. So as long as your foundation is strong, and we know that, and having Christ in that foundation, when they leave, they'll leave with a solid foundation. So I thank you again, for what you're doing. I really appreciate you. And we're looking forward to collaborating with you on a whole bunch of stuff. Because our lane, we're riding in the same lane, driving in the same direction.
So true. And I know that, Alicia, if you like to leave your information, where persons, if they like to help your organization, I don't know if it's an email or phone number, or just give them the website. And just last words for those that are going through that. What would you leave with them?
Well, I leave my information. I would like to say that there is hope. That there is hope. That it was hope for me. I was in so many different situations, and God made a way out of no way for me. One way or another, whether it was through a friend, whether it was through someone who didn't know me, or just reaching out, because we didn't have referrals and I didn't know anything about referrals and linkages and resources. You know, I pretty much did my own. If I couldn't find a friend to help me, I didn't have no help. Right. You know, and so there's so much out here. And I tell people, they try to knock organizations about nobody's doing anything. There's a lot of people with all the different organizations that are trying to help.
That's
right.
And
so you just reach out and, you got the phone. Google everything. You know, I Google everything now because that's what they tell me to do. And everything is online. And Google help, you know, suicide, domestic violence, rape, whatever your controlling situation is, there is an organization that wants to reach out their hand to help you. And ultimately, always remember, God has never left you. God has always known where you at, who you are, and he's got a ram in the bush for you, for whatever it is that he has for you. And so, again, my name of my organization is the City of Hope Safe Haven. My website is www.cityofhopesh.com. My Facebook page, I have a Facebook page, is City of Hope, SH, at yahoo.com. And then I also have an account with the Combined Federal Campaign, and I know a lot of people are familiar with that, and my code for that is 30274. And then my phone number is, if you need to speak to me one-on-one, I just gladly will talk with you. My number is 678-755-2194. The City of Hope Safe Haven. Thanks a lot for allowing me to speak.
Hey, no problem. We definitely appreciate you. And you have any last words, Miss Sabrina?
Yes, ma'am. Always remember, when you know your value, no one can diminish your worth.
And that is so true. That's all we've been talking about here this evening on Speak Out Your Issues with Miss Show You Right, Nadine and Sabrina, and our guest, Alicia Washington, tonight. With all of that information, please consider going out, helping someone, and getting involved with helping, because like they say, that's where we are today. And it brings back memories. Hey, I remember those days of helping one another. So again, you've been on Speak Out Your Issues with Miss Show You Right, Nadine and Sabrina via WLMR DB Radio. And if you'd like to contact us, you can call us at 404-735-8607. Check out our YouTube, SpeakOutYourIssues.com, Facebook, Speak Out Your Issues. With that, have a great evening and look forward to you listening to us on this Sunday, 6 Eastern Standard Time, via WLMR DB Radio, or go to tunein.com. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Do you want top-notch entertainment or Broadway plays for your event or establishment? Then see you need to hook up with Newham Carter Broadway Plays Promoters, LLC. Give them a call today at 470-776-0863. Your clients will be running back to your establishment when they see your next event is produced by Newham Carter Broadway Plays Promoters, LLC.
Is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. Are mountains and hillsides enough to climb, and there are oceans and rivers enough to cross. only thing that there is just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow, and there are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Won't you listen, Lord, if you wanna know?
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
WLMR DB Radio.